How do you cope with anxiety whilst driving?
Are you listening? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it's good timing on this question because this weekend I am driving for probably 3 to 4 hours south because I'm going to Devon again for the weekend with my girlfriend. So, this video right here is going to be the last one in this series until I get back from there because I'm feeling a bit off myself. Like, I'm anticipating the journey, I'm anticipating being away from home, I'm feeling a little bit edgy. I've had a few dizzy spells this week since doing the video on dizziness, so it's been a bit of a shitty week, though I am still here to provide you with my experience and knowledge of anxiety. So if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, like this video if you want. I don't really mind so much today because I feel like crap myself. If you want to join a community of like-minded individuals that can maybe help share some tips or some insight on their experiences, visit the link that's on screen now. There's also a link in the description to the Anxiety United support group on Facebook. So how do you cope with anxiety whilst driving? I will be doing just that on Saturday. I think we're going to hire a car. We're going to drive for 3.5 hours, I think it is, to Devon, to a completely new place that I've never been before. And how will I cope with my anxiety? Notice that I'm saying that I will experience anxiety, because I will experience anxiety, because I always do. I do experience anxiety on the school run sometimes. So, in fact, I did this morning. I had just a flashing thought of, what if? What if I feel like crazy dizziness while I'm driving and I have to pull over and sit there until it subsides? There's the answer. Like, what if that happens? That's what will happen. I will pull over to the side of the road and wait till it subsides. And I've had panic attacks in the car before. I can remember them really vividly. I was sat in traffic at an island approaching a roundabout with my son, and I had a full-blown panic attack, and I just carried on at the roundabout, found a little lay-by, pulled over, and sat there for like 10-15 minutes until it subsided. And it was horrible, horrific, but I was like 100 miles away from home, so I had no choice but to carry on with my journey. So I guess, how do you cope with the anxiety while you're driving? Like, if it reaches a point where you're panicking, then I would suggest to just pull over, let it come, let the panic wash over you, do whatever it's gonna do. Let it hit you with its worst that it can offer, because we know that the worst that it can offer is no more than it's offering you at the height of that panic. Like, you're not gonna die from the panic attack. Pull over, find a safe place, experience the panic, and then when it calms down, start the engine and off you go. But it's those little nagging, anxious thoughts. That's what people want to know. Like, how do you cope with that? For me, I think when I have those anxious thoughts, because I get them all the time, like, let's not pretend that I don't, I tend to just focus exactly on what it is that I'm doing. Focus on the road, focus on the speedo, put the radio on, have a look around, check out the pedestrians, other road users, really pay attention and become present in the moment, and just recognise that you are in control of a heavy piece of metal that could be dangerous. So you need to have your wits about you and give it your full attention. See, driving is dangerous. Let's not pretend that it's not. But sitting in the car and being in control of it, or being a passenger, that's not dangerous. Like, being yourself in that position is no different to being yourself and sitting at home on the sofa or sitting in a nice warm bubble bath. You're the same person. It's no different. So how do you cope with anxiety while driving? The same way that you cope with it in doing something that maybe someone else can't. So if you're able to take a bus, or if you're able to sit and watch a movie without feeling uncomfortable, or you're able to sit and hold a conversation, then think about how you deal with any negative thoughts that might pop up during that time and put them to use when you're driving, because it's still you. You're still the same person. And is it a phobia of driving that you have, or is it more a case of you're worried about what's going to happen to you whilst driving? Like, how am I going to cope with rapid heart rate if it starts while I'm driving, or shallow breathing, or am I going to experience dizziness? Is it more a fear of those things? If it's a fear of driving itself, then exposure is the answer. Exposure therapy. If you can't drive your car, then go and sit in your car for 5 minutes. Next time, go sit in the car and start the engine. And the next time, start the engine, maybe drive around the block. Take the necessary steps to build some confidence with getting in the car and taking it for a spin until you're comfortable, until you can realize that any symptoms or sensations that you experience during being in the car are no different to any other time. And if it's just a fear of anxiety in general whilst in the car, then the same rules apply. Acceptance, show courage, put yourself in those positions and just bite the bullet again. Because like I say, being in the car is no different to being anywhere else. You're sitting down in a seat, yes, in a moving vehicle, but you are still the same person. The same person that sat at home and watched Netflix, or the same person that sits and messes with their phone of an evening, or the same person that sits down to eat their dinner. You're exactly the same person. So how do you deal with any negative thoughts? I'm really struggling today. Like, that's the best that I can give you on this question. I apologise if I haven't answered it, but how do I cope with anxiety whilst driving? Like, if it's really bad, I'll pull over and just wait for it to subside. Or if it's just like anxious flashing thoughts or just a flashing sensation, then I'll just acknowledge it, accept it. Whether it was a thought or a feeling, I just like, okay, that's just happened, now let's carry on. Like, I'm still here, I can still drive. And that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm done with Anxiety United questions everything until I get back off my mini break, because I feel like I need it. I need to unwind. I need to relax. I need to stop talking about anxiety for a few days. So if you've got any more questions, please drop them in the comments and I will get round to it. But for now, thank you for watching. I need a break. I know it's only been 17 days, but it feels like a freaking lifetime. Thank you. Subscribe, because you don't know when I'm going to upload next. Peace out. Enjoy Devon. Bye.